Hey guys, welcome back to another Sunday chat. Hope everyone's doing well. I know a lot of people I don't know if a lot of people were in here because it's kind of that holiday weekend, even though 4th is on Tuesday. I know a lot of people are taking off for like a long weekend. So let's see who we got in here. Chaos Prepper. I saw something's weird. What I see on StreamYard is different than when I go and look at the stream for like the live on actually YouTube. And sometimes it doesn't show me who's actually first on StreamYard. So if I missed you and you already put something in there, I'm sorry. I just realized it does that. Dark Angel, how are you? Oh, the thumbnail. Does it look fuzzy on your end? It didn't look fuzzy when I put it up, but then when I looked at it a while ago, it did. I don't know. Huckleberry, she's a wildflower. Hey, Coffee First, how are you? Miss Sharon, all is well. I'm scattered today. I'm just going to say I was running in here with minutes to spare, and that's not usually how I do. Hey, Michael G. Hey, TJ, how are you? Hopefully, you can't tag anyone. Really? I wonder why. I don't know what's going on with things. Can anyone else tag anyone? Try it. Let me know. Hey, Colleen. Is y'all's tagging work and everything, or is things acting weird? Somebody else earlier said that YouTube was acting weird earlier. I just heard it in passing, so I don't know. Let me know if it's working okay. But anyways, I don't think if I've missed you, I'm sorry. And if you do the whole live chat, thumbs up, all the YouTubey stuff, it helps me out. And if you have something for me, put it in all caps. Hey, Sandy. Hope y'all are doing great. Hopefully, tell them, Miss Sharon, because I'll get lost. I'll lose it, or I'll be so concentrated on that I'll go squirrel, and that'll be the end of it. So, a couple updates about the garden. I did put a picture on my community tab. About it was just some things we had picked yesterday. Our sunflower heads were ready, so I got those hanging up and they're drying. Take a couple weeks and then we'll hey Hope Bus, glad to see you. KP, how are you guys? The sunflower, they'll dry and we'll get those seeds and roast them and stuff like that. And then some of the smaller ones, different type, they're for the birds and things like that. Hey, Constitutional Carpenter, if you remember about black sunflower seeds, I'll probably save those for the winter. That's part of my combo I use. I keep my birds laying all year. Is you do black sunflower seeds and you give them like crushed red pepper or cayenne pepper. They cannot chickens can't taste things hot, but those three, or even just the red pepper, crushed red peppers and the black sunflower seeds, it helps them keep laying all year and they don't go through that awful molting and things like that. That's something I use, so I'll probably save those for come winter time. I just added into their feed. So I have so with the garden stuff, as you can see, and I went and picked more today. It is producing despite it trying to be sabotaged and the damage that was done. We have an abundance of fruit. It is producing tomatoes, peppers, and all my peppers, which I had seen all those things, the pictures and videos I put, they were so bare. They were just like, looked like just sticks with some, peppers growing on them. I'm getting so much new healthy green leaves regrowth rapidly on those. I mean, they look fantastic. I mean, everything's doing well. I mean, I had I think 2 tomato plants. I had to pull the whole plant up. They got messed up during all of that, but everything else it looks healthy. It's doing well. It's producing. Every day we're picking, and so that's good. And is Montana Nana in here? If not, if she, anyways, big thanks to her. I had to get up with her and I said, I had something that was, I thought it was cross-pollinating. And I'm kind of wondering if that is what happened with those round, ugly, pathetic looking cucumbers I had. They were so weird. I could not figure, I never had that happen. One of them I ripped out. I didn't, because it wasn't water. The leaves didn't show it and I wasn't over watering and the plant itself didn't show signs of overwatering, even though that's something that can happen with cucumbers is they get the kind of that round ball. But then I had some, I like nutritional things. I don't know. then it was could it be lack of pollination? I ripped one of the plants out because the plant just wasn't in the one that was producing those type of cucumbers. I don't know if I was having some sort of cross pollination type issue. If it was something else just going on with that plant particular, I don't know. I ended up ripping it off because the plant started looking unhealthy, even with that latest cucumber I taken off of there. And it was just, I ended up pulling that out yesterday. And this morning I went out and the other plant that was cucumber plant that was beside it, it has regular, healthy, normal looking cucumbers on it. So I don't know what happened, but they're healthy. The plant that's left now, it looks good and it's fine. So there's that. I did this. I was asking a couple people. I had said this before. I had bought a couple starter plants from a local family farm place. They have they could do like you pick and they sell like starter plants. We go out there. They've been there forever. I had gotten certain things that were mislabeled. And so I had put where my yellow squash goes, there were certain ones I had bought at once that were, and then I had done seeds and my seeds were fine. And then it was like one of the plants that was in that supposed to be yellow squash was mislabeled. Partly my fault. I did not look at the leaves enough. I just was like, oh, this is what it's labeled. And I put it in. And one of them has to be some type of pumpkin sort or something. Anyways, one of my yellow squash, plants that was really close. And by that, I think it had to have been cross-pollinated because, and you're not going to be able to see it well in here because the color, like I'm not this white looking. It's the lighting. It produced this weird squash. See how it's kind of green on the bottom? And it's just weird. This looks like some type of hybrid cross-pollinated yellow squash with probably that green looking pumpkin thing that was labeled, which is out there. I don't know. It only did this one. I think I was having some type of, and have y'all had that? My big question, you gardeners, about especially squash. There's this thing that people talk about with cross-pollinated hybrid different type of squash, and certain ones like this is they can be toxic. Usually it's so bitter if you eat it that you wouldn't want to eat it anyways. There's some compound in it, and I can't remember what it is now. It begins with a C, that it can be toxic. But they usually say it's so bitter you wouldn't want to eat it anyways. Has anyone had that happen? Because I haven't ate this. It's just a strange looking, I always say it's cross-pollinated with that. That's the only one that came out like that because we've been eating yellow squash out of there. I was just going to end up tossing it. Do y'all know much about that? It's usually squash plants you hear I think it's pretty rare, but I guess there's that thing. There's a compound in it, and I cannot absolutely slip my mind. It begins with a C. It's very, very high in it. Yeah, McBean, and hey, how are you? When in doubt, throw it. That's how my thing is. I don't know. Like even my cucumbers that look weird, we cut them open. They look like it, and they smelled like cucumbers, but I didn't eat them because I just wasn't sure. But I'm probably going to cut this open and just see what it looks like. It's just strange. TT1's in the house. How are you? Hey, Kelly, how are you? So I don't know if y'all have had that. So I did go in there yesterday and I ripped out one of the squash plants as well. Hey, Mary, how are you? Just because, but everything else, I'm getting tons of stuff. I am getting a lot. Some things ran its course. I did never get my broccoli, and I kind of left them in there to see if they would ever decide they wanted to do anything. I ripped the rest of those out yesterday, but yes, Hope. I think that is it. I think that let me put that up there. I think that's it. But it's usually something they say is usually people worry about it, that compound being too high with cross-pollination. It's usually that you only hear about it with squash because there's other things that people will do that to get hybrid type, vegetables, fruit from a plant, and they're good and they're fine to eat them. But I think it's only squash you worry about. Like if you plant too many of the different types of squash too close, I don't know if it was because of the bees, because everything else has been, doing great. But I will say, out of the garden, that big squash patch area that we have, they they love that the best. I mean, they were all over that. But I only had that thing happen. So, and I will say there is a it looks like a type of green speckled type pumpkin. That's the one that was labeled wrong, that is in that patch, and it's growing. And I'm on the fence on, it's growing and healthy and producing. Do I leave it or do I rip it out because it's in the middle of my squash? What would you do? But we learn every year different things, and some of, even some of the stuff that came out that I can't do anything with, it is kind of neat to see how things like that come about. You know, but as far as the sabotage, the damage that was done, I can't. There are some leaves that look just pathetic and sad on the tomatoes, but I am getting a abundance of tomatoes. Matter of fact, after we get off here, Huckleberry's going to go grill some steaks, and I take my like my cast iron pan and I roast. I cut, I just usually cut them in half because most of them are like Roma tomatoes, or or thirds or something. And I just put them in there with olive oil and garlic and fresh herbs. And I take some of the banana peppers and onions, and I just roast them like that. We really like eating those. We just eat them up. So I'm blessed. It's been fine. And I said that I'd keep moving forward when that happened. Hey, Sandy, if I've missed anybody, I'm sorry. I'm really behind on chat. I would, God was going to bless that. I was going to keep doing, sorry about that. I was going to keep doing my part moving forward, and my garden is doing well, so I'm happy. Yeah, so about that, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to eat it. I don't know why I would chance it, but I thought that was interesting about that, but I haven't had that. I just haven't had it happen before. The birds are destroying. Oh no, really? I have a bird bath, but my bird, I have my garden, and then there's there's a tree. It's actually an ornamental plum tree, I believe is what it is. You can't eat them, but it's pretty there. And we have our chairs underneath there for shade, and there's a bird bath, and then is the bees. But the thing I had with birds is they were picking off my blueberries as quick as they were coming up. And Huck had to build something, a framing with netting and stuff to go over that. And I haven't had issues since. The netting, he had to build that to put over it. And that's helped rip it out. Are you talking about the pumpkin mix thing that's in the middle of my squash? I wonder if I can transplant it. It's so healthy and huge. I'm like, well, isn't that, but I think it's going to mess up the rest of it. I haven't had that happen thus far, and I've been getting squash. It was just this one. When something is cross-pollinated, is that plant ruined, or is it only that fruit through that initial thing? Okay, and it produced some and that's it. Or is it now it's been cross-pollinated and everything that particular single plant produces now, they're all going to be that hybrid? I see mixed things on that. TT1. TT1. I'm glad I thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're so important to us. I appreciate it. You didn't have to do that, but I greatly appreciate it. Hey, Dusty Country Road. So yeah, so you're talking about that cross-pollinated that I had never heard. I guess because I've never really had it happen. I knew there were certain things. It seems like if something got cross-pollinated with my grandmother's garden, it was just rip it out. Don't mess with it. But then I know that people, they like to get cross-pollinated tomatoes on purpose because of what they came up with. They're fine. I think squash is the main thing that there could be an issue with. If I've missed something, I'm sorry. Oh yeah. I had this one year, I don't remember what it was. I had squirrels, and they would dig up bulb type plants or different type things. They were digging up all of my stuff. It drove me crazy just one year. I don't know why. See, they're just helping out. They're just They're bringing you stuff. They don't know that you don't want those. That's funny. It is funny, but like different seasons, it seems like certain pests are really bad, and then the next season it's not that. What was it last year we battled? Ants and stuff so bad. Hey, Jersey girl. Oh no, your garden. I'm sorry. I have heard of, speaking of weather, I mean, are y'all hot? Because Mercy, it is hot, hot. It's hot. I mean, I think between today until Wednesday, our heat index is supposed to be like 105 to 110. That southern humidity, you just know about yourself. It's hot. And I will say some of my tomatoes were getting like little sunspots on them. You can still eat that, as long as they're not scorched to death or whatever, they're just mush. But it just came in. And a lot of people I hear are losing things like that. They're struggling with the heat. And then you have certain areas that are having really bad droughts. And then other places you're having these just waves of these awful storms and the wind and the hail and the rain. It's been weird this year, especially how cool we were for May and June for here. And a lot of people were. It was just and that is why that I was having bolting issues with certain things and I didn't get any production from them. So it has been kind of weird. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, one round cucumber. Okay. See, I'm behind. I'm sorry. I've never had that happen with cucumbers. And now the other plant is just fine, which was right directly beside it. But at the same time, I had some zucchini, same plant. Some of them are long shaped like they're supposed to be a zucchini. And then some of them are kind of that round ball. And then they are kind of start to elongate out. I haven't overwatered those. I don't know. Certain things like that have been odd, but then other things have been really good. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Yeah, I've been seeing. See y'all up north. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot with the rain. A lot of people are saying that it's just, it's when things are just overwatered. So much. See, yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. I have a friend that doesn't live in my state or anything, and hers is like, she's like, you're getting all this fruit already production, and she's like, they're slow. It's just that slow start. It's just kind of egging along. Everything looks healthy, but it's the same. So I think people are having that TT1. Hey, Minute Man, how are you? Oh yeah, the worms. I've had the thing. People call them squash bugs. They look like little stink bugs, different things. That's what I find the most in my garden. I will use very diluted Dawn in water, which will get rid of them. A lot of those different pests and not harm anything. That is usually what I use. Sometimes on the base of my plant, I'm careful because of the bees and things. I will use, diatomaceous earth if I'm having issues. That's what that last year we had to do was because the ants. But I have been hearing pest problems as well. I think it just comes. Yep, hot in Georgia. I'm hearing that too. I have some family we know lives in Georgia. They said it's hot. It's miserable hot. And speaking of like different weather things, let me try to catch up on this. But I'm good. Glad your garden is doing good. Oh, hey, Michigan. That's okay. Oh, I'm glad you got to go camping. What's up? That's wonderful. It's been cold and rainy. You can send me some of that cold air. But I don't want your winters. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I know it goes that way sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, just on my, now, I didn't get potatoes. I still haven't done. I haven't even, my sweet potatoes on the surface look like they're doing great. I haven't dug any of those or tried yet. I think I'm gonna give it another month or so. But I've heard that, and that's how seasons go. I think last year it was just kind of like, this just isn't my year. What's happened? I'm sorry. I hate to hear that. And that's why I try to grow in abundance, can dehydrate everything we can so we can try to carry that over. But I know it is tough. Some of y'all up, yes, yes. This humidity will smack you in the face when you open the door here. Yeah, Huck. Yeah, the TT1. What Huck said. I thought all the seeds I had for our different huge patch we have for wildflowers. I was like, how are all these different? This isn't working, but we had an issue with that. Oh, the gardens. I'm sorry. I'm hearing that a lot. I should not complain about losing just potatoes and some funny looking cucumbers. Yeah. Oh, let me touch on this real quick. Miss Sharon, thanks for putting that up. Yeah, the Buckeye Seed Garden, she was with Etsy and then she was she did her own site, and I think she's back just with Etsy. It's hard to get that switch when people are used to going there, but for Jan, use her Etsy. I have removed the other one from my page, but I didn't verbally come and update that. Yeah, the when it goes through that drought like feeling, it's just dry, and then it just floods rain, and the ground is yeah, we've been there. Yeah, we're in our heat index is in the hundreds, I think, until Wednesday. It's ridiculous. Now diatomaceous earth, now it will, like, you have to be careful, like, don't, well, I mean, it depends. Like, I won't put it up where on the flowering part, because it will kill your pollinators. Because it does them all the same way. Fleas, critters, bugs, whatever, it does that. But diatomaceous earth, especially if you sprinkle it around the base of your plants of things, it'll get it'll kill that stuff, and it's non-toxic. It's just food grade diatomaceous earth. It'll get rid of that stuff. I use that quite often for many different things. But yeah, just keep it away from the flowering part, because you don't want to kill your pollinators, and then you're having another issue. Oh, I see. A lot of people have been making zucchini bread. I'm seeing that a lot. Yeah, I put it in everything. We eat diatomaceous earth, or put it in water and drink it. I put it in my animals' food. If your animals have any kind of parasites, if humans have parasites, I've done a video on that before. Diatomaceous earth, food grade. Be smart about it. But yeah. Is it internal? You can do like different things for like yogurt and monolaurin. It depends on the strength you're given, but yeah, it'll help. And it, like, coconut oil helps that. You just have to give it in small increments and kind of work it your way up, which is the monolaurin. It's however you want to do it. I've used coconut oil. I had a dog that was she was kind of allergic to the type of grass, and it was like that sugar sand type of stuff where we had lived. She would get it in her ears, and the coconut oil topically will help that as well. But monolaurin, how it's derived from that. Yeah. And I would do some diatomaceous earth, because often if they're yeasty, their pH is off and they're going to get parasites. If you need, like, the size of the dog and the work and its strength, you're welcome to email me and I can write you a protocol. Hey, Seabass, you're here. Let's see. I think I'm trying not to be super behind, but because I wanted to touch on. So CD1, I was like, what is piling up your soul? What's going on? Who's messing with TT1? You meant soil. See, don't get me started. Don't mess with my people. Yes, yes, Miss Sharon, thank you. Yes, the cayenne pepper, but the cayenne pepper will burn. Ask the sabotaging people that concentrate that. But yeah, you can put cayenne pepper around, and cinnamon. Cinnamon is another good one to put around your garden. Cinnamon will drive away ants. Just get the cheap, big, not the good cinnamon I say to use for medicinal purposes, but like the big containers like at Walmart. It's just the generic plain cinnamon. That will keep a lot of things out. And the cayenne pepper it'll keep it's a deterrent. They'll move all along different bugs. Thank you, Miss Sharon, for sharing that. Absolutely. Let's see. Hey, Amy, if I missed you. All right, you be safe, Kelly. Y'all enjoy your 4th, you and Rambo. Oh, pickled coleslaw. I haven't done my pickled coleslaw before. Oh, I love cabbage rolls. That's a winter thing for me. You're doing all the things. That sounds good. I'm so happy you're here too, Seabass. I know it usually goes against your schedule. I'm glad you're here. I figured a lot would be gone because of the, it's kind of a holiday weekend, but if I miss too many, I miss my crew, so I miss my Sunday chat. Yeah, Seabass, the diatomaceous earth. I do have a video on that. You see diatomaceous earth. It's food grade. Or if you want information, you know how to reach me. I'll help you out. Oh, did the coffee grounds help? If you have we use a French press when we make our coffee, so that kind of coffee water or your grounds, the blueberries like that, blueberry bushes and stuff, because they like their soil more acidic. That helps mine a lot as well. Speaking of different weather things, those who, because I got my where's my tinfoil hat, right? Is the fires up in Canada. I've told people before about windy.com, and it shows the airflow or contaminations or where things are going or the pollution. It shows all this different things. They're saying it's coming out of Quebec. Well, they don't have the air pollution or quality or smoke issues that we're having down from like Michigan, Ohio, all those things. It's coming all the way through North Carolina. We've got all these haze, hazardous like breathing warning, different things, even here in North Carolina, and it does not smell or feel like when there's like we had a huge forest fire here not long ago, several months ago, and the smell and things are different. So I won't get too much in that because YouTube will give me a smack. But those who are more up and then above North Carolina, the smoke, the contamination, the pollution you're seeing in there, all that type of stuff. What do y'all? Because you remember it went away for a little bit and then it stopped back up and they said, "Oh, we're going kind of in a second round." I was watching that, but then I have friends who are in Canada, and the smoke and stuff is really bad, and then it's come back and it's awful again. Now I know with a cooler air, or if it's really hot and humid, the thickness of the air, all that can make things worse. I get it, but this is what I'm getting at. When it's been hazy and bad, was it yesterday? 2 days ago? It was bad, and it was the same smell, and it was here like that before. As if it burns your throat, and our nose and sinuses and eyes it's that fumes of chemicals. So I don't know if I can say this. Huck, throw it down in the comments for me. I like how I make him work all the time, right? Is they said what they were, the two things, the chemicals that they were finding in this smoke, this pollution that was going everywhere. But I'm hearing that a lot all over people, and people are getting sick, and it has been giving me headaches. And I've talked about that before, because I can be out and it's not as smoky like a forest fire smoke smell. It doesn't even look like that. It's a weird haze, and I know it's coming from stuff. Okay, so when we had that really big forest fire, and it went on for a long time, and it was humongous, and it was here, and it left that red orange hue, and it smelled like ash. It smelled like wood burning. It smelled like a forest fire, campfire type thing. The look of this isn't the same. Now, granted, yes, it's further off, but even different things I'm seeing, there's something with that. But a lot of people, okay, Yeah, see, I've been hearing a lot of people are saying um, one of the chemicals that is in it that they're saying, I don't know, because you know how they are, like, oh, don't call it out. That's not what's really happening. It's a forest fire. They'll get at me. But one of them that's up there, I don't know if he's put it down here or not yet. It is a it's a neurotoxin. I'll say that. And if you have scanners, you know, I talk about I have scanners, I listen to that, and I worked in the medical field right here in this town, and with some of these same people, and I'm talking to them, and we hear on the scanner this effects from it, you know, are not of forest fire type stuff. Um, I'll say that. But there's something going on. Oh really? Because see, I have friends that have been in Michigan, and it's just awful. And that windy and different things, the pollution, that air things, it was pretty bad last couple of days. I haven't heard anything today. Um, yeah, that's not what it is. But there's different warnings we're getting around that says that, you know, it's hazard. It's not just like um, yeah, it's just been bad again. Um, there's something up with it, and it's causing a lot of symptoms, and the paramedics are running nonstop. Respiratory distress. I can't go into, yes. This is what that is what was found in it. The B one can be a neurotoxin. Look into that about this thing, because something's going on. Something's going on with that. And I was wondering, because I mean, I'm thinking if I'm this far south from that, those who are further up, I mean, I am praying for you guys. Hey, Matt, how are you? You made it. Good to see you. Hey, Rip Girl, how are you? If I've missed anybody coming in, I apologize. Yeah, and it's causing a lot of other type of I don't know. Some people have seizures and stuff from those type of chemicals that are in the air, and I hear that going through a lot. Hey, Dove J, how are you? So I don't know. I just wondered how you guys are out there. Oh, me too. Absolutely, it is. Um, I I have my feelings on it. I guess I'm gonna have to go start going back to Rumble with certain things because. Hey, Laura, I'm so glad you're here. Good to see you, Sergeant Deacon. How are you? It's a chemical thing. It's yep. That's what Huck said. That's what we had heard. That's no joke at what those things are. And inhaling that, there's a different things, like there's also different factors when you look at medical side of things. If you have a chemical you're around, you have it, but then when it becomes like a vapor, like it's burning and it's released like that, when we inhale it, the effects are even more different than if you just like opened up a bottle of this certain hazardous liquid and you can smell it and it's strong, but then when it comes vapor and it goes into you, the damage that stuff does. I'm not going to be able to talk about it on the medical side on here, but if you look into that and then you start noticing and hearing, especially if you have scanner or know people in the medical field, you know, I used to work ER, so I still have that, the things that's going on and the long-term effects and immediate, but also with the animals, the plants, the water, the air, it's all affected because it settles. Because like they'll do these big things, and then eventually that way that it'll come down, it'll settle to the ground. Yeah. Oh yeah. And see, you know, I find most of the crap that they try to spew out. That's why I tune in. I don't watch mainstream, but I want to know what are they telling the general population, society. I find it insulting that they think that I would believe such nonsense. Um, but that's how I am. Yeah. Oh, that's exactly. I think they're like, oh no, see, you know, we have a fire up here. I think that it's something they're doing. There is another, exactly what you're saying. I better be careful. If y'all don't see me for 1 to 2 weeks, it's because of this. So you know why. Um, um, yeah, yeah. That's what they say. That's never how it's worked before, right? Yeah, if y'all have read that. It's just, they always have something. They have something. It's probably for our own good. It's probably something to help us. They're probably releasing and burning something for our own good. That's how it always is, right? Um, oh, happy birthday, Teresa. Go enjoy your day. Um, happy birthday. I hope you have a blessed one. Let's see what Matt's got because he's up there. He's my go-to up there. See, and yeah, and people, the allergy stuff, the mucous membrane irritation, like my sinuses will feel like on fire. It doesn't feel like, I've talked before. I am prone. I've gotten migraines since I was 7 years old. Usually barometric pressure. I've talked about this before. I can be fine all day inside doing my normal things. And when I go out to do my outdoor chores and you can see it and you can smell it and you feel it, my throat will be that, and my sinuses will be that raw, and our eyes. And we're this much further south than all that. Something. Okay, constitutional carpet. You go have fun, enjoy, stay cool. It's blistering hot where I'm at. Yep. Yeah, it's a weird haze though. It's not like, even when we had those fires here, it is not a smoky haze. It's very different. Hey AJ, how are you? I'm glad to see you here. Oh, and see, I think it was yesterday our air quality was yeah. There's something. But you can see that windy stuff. You can see where it's going. I may add some. I took some screenshots of the stuff that people were talking about it. I'll put them up in my community tab later if I remember. Hey, Rabbit Coyote, how are you? Yeah. Okay. So with the proper gear, your thing, I have people who here that I've known, I grew up with them. They work in different type of first response. If they were told, they had a briefing and they were told if they're going to be out for like a long call, maybe say, just use an example, there was a really bad car accident and they're out for a long time, or they have a lot of outdoor something, that they are to take their precautions with their, just from being outside for a long period of time. I mean, they have things all up about that here right now. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of headaches, a lot of different things. Let's see. Y'all, Joe, and this, you talking about the blocking of it? The Mr. Bugman's thing about blocking that so it'll cool down, all in the name of saving stuff, the climate. That is that what you're talking about? No, it's not smoke, Jersey girl. You're absolutely right. No, I don't. No, not at all. Well, Matt, on that. Okay, so the rain will bring it down out of the air, so the smoke and haze that you're inhaling isn't bad. The rain will also bring what is in the toxins, I mean the chemicals and the pollution stuff that there is in there, it'll bring it down to the ground. So that is when you worry about, like, say you had your water supply, like you say you were getting like a stream where it's going to bring it into that, or your plants, or if you had backyard birds or something like that, is going to bring it down, and then that can be the effect. It's going to clear the air more because it's going to bring it down. And I think that's why we had some clear here for a bit, because we were having all those storms, heavy wind and rain, and the air quality wasn't like this. But but I don't, it depends on, it'll make the air quality better. At least temporarily it will. Oh, my garden's good. I was talking about that earlier. Yeah, I'm getting tons of, production out of the garden, and I'm getting new, healthy, green leaf growth back on all my pepper plants, and they're produced. Everything's doing great. I had some issues with cross pollination. If you missed the first bit of it, you have to look into that. It's been interesting, but no, it's doing well. Let me see. But yeah, so I wanted, yeah. Was it Reagan that said that? Yeah. Well, they just bring him back, and oh my gosh. Once you hear that, we're here to help. This is for your good. This is to help you. This is for you. That should be your number one red flag. Um, yeah, see, and that's the whole thing is it'll bring that down. It'll bring it down to the ground. I mean, you would have to, you know, as far as the air quality, it'll bring it down. Just kind of like when they like to draw things in the sky for us, and then if you see that seeding, they a lot of times will do that right before it rains, or it happens to rain the next day or something after that, because those things are in there. It'll bring it down to the ground for different purposes, but the air quality will be okay. See, they know what they're doing. It's a double-edged thing, but as far as the air quality and you breathing it, that will help. I know I hate to be trapped inside. I am not an indoor person. I want to be out and about. I get stir crazy. I feel claustrophobic being inside. It's been rough. I agree. I've been hearing, hey Cherokee. All right, I'm looking forward to it. Do that. Hey, Montana Nana, were your ears burning earlier? I was just talking about you and your help. Thank you for identifying some of the things going on with my garden. The first bit of this, I talked a lot about things that are going on with the garden and that ugly, weird squash I had sent you a picture of. I don't know. I think I'm going to throw it out because I'm concerned. And we were talking about the toxic squash cross-pollinated stuff in here. You'll have to go back and see that. I don't know why some people's it goes right away. They always hold my live chat to the next day. It's like 24 hours. Sorry. So if you ever go back and watch something and you want to see the live chat, they always hold mine. But it's in there. Some information's in there that about that. Oh, Teresa, is it your mom? It's your mom. I thought you said it was yours. I'm sorry. Happy birthday to her. Oh, Minute Man. Yeah, I know how that is. I don't have young little nappers anymore, but I know. I remember those days. I'm way behind. I see it. Live chat. Tell them coffee. All right, Cherokee. I look forward to that. I have seen that as far as the rain coming down, once those things happen and it brings it down, it is causing issues with different garden things. Of course it would, because they're chemicals. It's just coming down in a different way. Yeah, all caps. I'm glad your garden is doing well, Rabbit. That's awesome. Let me see if I don't want to miss anybody, but you know how it goes. But the fire thing, that's been on my mind. It's bothering me here. So those who are closer up that way, how y'all were doing up there. Let me see. I see. Once it, I'm sure. Well, because when it went away and they said, "Oh, we're going for a second round," it's coming back up because it had died down some, like a week or something more. And I said, "Man, they're putting an accelerant out there or something. They're starting that thing right back up." Okay, Montana Nana, sounds good. They're doing something. They're not, like I said, I find it insulting. Just tell me the truth and how just lay it out. But that's how I am in general as a person. So there's that. And then what do we have? And then you have people, the distractions and the overwhelming things. I'm going to hit you at all angles, but I'm going to throw in some distractions, smoke and mirrors. Watch this hand, so you don't see what I'm doing. The other one, all that, it's constant. The theatricals, it's constant. It will never stop. It goes on. Because, CBDC rolls out this month. What was the executive order he signed for that to go into, for it all to be the cryptocurrency, which will track everything. I mean, everything. I mean, that is going to usher in the social scoring. They'll end up that all that. But I think it's EO 14067 is the, I think that's the executive order he signed in. If you want more details on that, I think that's what it is. It's going in this month. So we have that. I say this is just what I would do. You do what's best for you. Is we don't leave stuff in those in the buildings and stuff. Get things out, and then certain things make sure you pay with cash while you can, but also so you have privacy. It's nobody's business what you're buying. Do it while you can. Yeah, all that. This month is starting. I imagine next week after the holiday, or then maybe they'll do it on the holiday. They like to do those things too. Holidays, weekends, in the middle of the night. That's usually when they do those things. I think they'll do it in the name of climate LDs. I have thought that would have been the next go. That's what they were going to pull. I have thought that for 2 years, that would be the next. Let's see. So there's all that. Oh, let me bring this in. Huck is going to be able to put more things in the comments about it because he knows more about it. Now I did the video about the whole malaria, and I said I could not imagine how that could have come about. When somebody releases their little mad scientist pest out, especially where they're finding it, and not to freak out, but this is what it is. You know how they get in the labs and then they do things. So there was that. And when they start messing around with nature and the way things are naturally, there's a natural balance. They know what things, it knows what it's doing. God knew what he was doing when he made things. We don't need man to come in there and alter things like they continue to do. So there's another one. But MD Creekmore is in this house. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. And the people and that goes along with the whole thing. So many people have the little small trickle that they've been doing. We talk about it so long. It's the go along to get along and on. And then before you know it, people are like, how did this happen? Well, because you allowed it. Don't get me started. Anyways, Ohio. Some of you up there in Ohio, let me know what you're hearing in your ear. Ohio researchers develop a new breed of honeybees. Now, they're not, I guess, genetically modified, but they are kind of selectively crossbreeding in a certain way because they're trying to develop this certain honeybee that can fight parasites. If you see the stuff that's going on, I believe in Australia and New Zealand, very, very high, where they're just taking all these hives and saying, maybe in so many radius of where you're at, there was these mites, found these hives, and they come and they destroy the whole hives. They are destroying thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hives. They're doing that. They're doing these weird things. And we've always said, if the bees die, we will not survive. That's just the way it goes. All of them and what they're doing. And it never works out. When you try to alter the natural balance of things, there's going to be a problem. So they're doing this, this develop of this new breed of honeybees to help fight these different parasites. So they're making these worker bees known as OB1 or Ohio mite biters. But they're taking, it's like, try a little harder, at least make it believable for me. They're taking these same studies and bending it, and they're using the same thing in different states and areas. Huck will put more down there. you know what's going to happen with that. They cannot alter those type of things and see, and then expect it not to backfire. It always will. I mean, man's hand doesn't need to be in any of that. It just does not. I think it might be on the third, but oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm reading some of my stuff. Sorry, I'm catching up. So I want to keep an eye. I'm going to keep an eye on that situation about these new breed of honeybees. This is okay. This is always talking about nature. This is always my thing. Since the dawn of time, things in nature have found a way to balance and correctly without doing. And this is the way I choose. You do what you want to do. While we do things natural. Okay, so before they invented and came up with all these chemicals and toxins and different things to use to treat, and I'm just saying bees because that's what I'm talking about, and we have them too. In nature, they know how to handle it themselves, and there was a natural balance of those things. Well, then they wonder why things are getting more and more out of control with these things when they've upset the balance in so many areas. With that, again, now they're dipping their hand again and saying, well, you got it to, it was this point that was so bad. That's why I believe in even, how can I tell you, even like in how we do things, even in hive structure, you make it as natural to the way that bees are, not saying, hey, y'all are working for me, but I want you to work and produce and live in this made way of doing things. That's why all different things, if you let it do its natural process and balance of how it knows how to do by nature, you don't have these issues. And they just want to keep creating this, just like when they keep creating different bugs in labs and putting them out because, oh, we need to create this so it'll stop this. Oh, well, now this is a bigger problem. Now we need something to stop this. And a lot of times it's these things, depending on us, or some type of new chemical or some. It just really makes me sick. But look, I'm gonna keep an eye on that. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, MD. Yeah, I do have a great chat too. We say it every week. Don't we, Miss Sharon? I do have great people in here. See, yeah, okay. See, in Montana, Nana, she knows she does the bees and everything as well. Is just stop messing around. I mean, it's, that if it's not broke, don't fix it. They just can't stand it. And I think that goes back to a lot of different things of, look what we did. Look what I did. Look what I created and fixed and did. That's that whole pride thing. That cycle, just Josh and I do lots of videos, lives on these topics where the root of all of that is. That's what this is. Okay. Yeah. See, they're doing these different surveys and they're saying, all this humongous population of these honeybees are dying because of this. So we have to do this, but they're altering it in different areas. It's just, yeah. And how many people, how many, I mean, even said in that, how many people are like, I'm not participating in registering any of these things. Look what happened with my garden. They asked me, have you registered your thing? I'm done with you now. The fact that we are not the same, that you even asked me that question. Hey, Katrinka, how are you? I'm glad you're here. It's okay if you're late. Sundays, just lay back, do whatever. So I know they could have the yellow jackets and the wasp. Wasps will find me all the time. That's right. Absolutely. And God created it in a special balance. I 100% no, he knew what he was doing and he didn't need man to come and say, man, I just glad you fixed that for me. I wasn't sure. It's been a long time. When you alter and change things so much in environments, and the list goes on and everything they've been doing, this is what happens. And it just makes me sick. Hey, Annette, how are you? Glad you're here. It always is. It always is. I always have a great chat. I always have great people in here. Hey, yeah, Cherokee, I've talked about that before. That was my grandmother did that. We didn't have central heating in there. It was the ice buckets with the fan behind it. It works. Exactly. They can't stand it. It is that it is that whole. We can tie everything back to that of how they do things. Yeah, 100%. All around the chemicals in the air, people are spraying. Then, hey, we'll do this. We'll do this to fix that, and what could possibly go wrong. It's the whole mad scientist thing. It's just it's a whole mad scientist thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'll put some of the stuff up because he's all into it. Man, he was all worked up. He was all I should just record that and put the whole thing up. But it's ridiculous. All of it, the whole thing. But anyways, I just think that'll be interesting. I'm gonna follow that. And if it comes, things start unfolding, I'll do a video on it. But those who, are interested in following it or have bees yourself and what's going on with that whole mess, keep an eye on it. Because it's gonna come to something. I'm sure there's a disaster waiting behind it. Just a matter of time. It always is. So what do y'all have? What do y'all have? Anybody have anything going on coming up? Throw it down there. The I am of me. How are you? Welcome. That's okay. We're late. I was almost late myself. You're welcome, Dusty. You're welcome. Yeah, it's going to be a hot mess. It really is. I can't see any good outcome from this. They can paint it however they want to, but you can't alter things that were naturally balanced for a reason. You can't alter that and get a good outcome. Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a mess. I mean, a lot of different things. Even the whole let's block the sun and let's do this and it just goes on. I mean, everything they've been doing, and they're doing the things like it's all for our benefit. But if we get up and talk about it, then we get smacked for it. Then you've proven your point to me that how it is. I see. Oh, you got your cinnamon. Okay, yeah. I put that in my coffee every day. Like if I'm doing depends if I'm baking a goodie type thing, I don't always use the good one. If I'm using it for like my cinnamon milk, I have a video on that. The warm milk with cinnamon on your coffee, or you're using it for a medicinal purpose. That's the one you need to use. It works really well. Just give it time. I tell people all the time with natural balance is it's not a quick fix. It's not that, I got this prescription within 48 hours I felt great, because it's not band-aiding the symptoms. It is fixing the root cause, and so you have to give it time. But listen to your body. I mean, if you're having a bad reaction to something, listen to your body. Do things smart, but I'd rather fix the root cause than to band-aid it. Oh, that's okay, Katrinka. That's all right if you're late. I always say, and I've said this a while ago, if you go to watch the replay and because there's a lot of y'all drop wonderful information or things I can't say or things I don't know about. It's in the chat. My chat for my lives never goes up to the next day. Some people's is right away. They always hold my chat, I'm sure, for a review. It goes up the next day. So if you're wanting to see that too, you have to wait. Okay. Huck can answer that for you. There's a lot of different things. If you, I'm sure there's some bee people. Montana Nana does bees. It just depends on what you want to use or how you want to do it. They can probably throw it up there. All right, guys. If nobody has anything else going on, y'all be safe through this holiday weekend because it brings out the crazy plus the heat and the nonsense and the overwhelming stuff going on in the world. People act foolish. Stay safe. Stay safe, please. When I would work, when I would work ER, and every time, I mean, it seems like I always worked holidays and full moons. That's just the way it is. It brings the crazy out. things go on. Oh yeah, the Faraday cages. Yeah, those are great to have. I have that's that smaller one back there. We use them for those, but I hear a lot of people making theirs as well. That's awesome. Um, yeah. Oh yeah. That generator will pay for itself. It will more than pay for itself. If you look at pricing when you buy colloidal silver and how much we use in stock, it'll pay for itself. And I'm not affiliated with anybody, but it will. Yep. Absolutely. I don't know if I've seen any beaver. I mean, I haven't put anything up. Absolutely. Have a good day. And yes, I'll close on that. Thank you all. That's what we do. I thank all of you guys for being here as usual, doing the things, and y'all be safe. And I love all you. I'm always praying for you. Stay safe. Those of you who had questions, if I didn't get enough detail in here, yeah, that's the one I have. You're always welcome to email me. I'll help you as best as I can. If I can, I will always direct you to somebody that can help. Okay. So everyone stay well. God bless, and I will see you guys. I'll see you guys next time.